right, 3-2. 3-2 is one of the shortest levels in the entire game, but that does not mean it's the easiest. This is probably one of the shortest stages, if not the shortest, but also one of the most jam-packed. There is a lot going on in this stage. Very, very input-heavy stage. It's very, very fast-paced. Lots of difficult egg shots. I mean, it's just going to be... this stage may be a wall for you initially. May not be. Who knows? I'm just, trying to cover all my bases here. It is a difficult stage. It's not like 4-4, 2-2, 2-5, level of difficulty or anything. It's just a lot happening. It's like 2-5's level of action. It's just so much in a very short amount of time. When you start this stage, you probably will have anywhere between 2 and 3 eggs. Now you're gonna see this initial strat that I do at the beginning is literally just to make a couple of extra eggs. And I do that, and I really suggest doing that, because if you miss some of these shots up here, you're gonna want the extra eggs. So I recommend doing this strat. I learned it from Tricks. So I jump up, I grab that milled, and I swallow him while I'm falling. As I'm falling down, I grab that milled, and then I jump and swallow the egg so that I'm making the egg in the air. And we are now officially seeing Shy Guys with spears and shields. If you just try to forward tongue this guy, he's going to shield block you, and it'll push him back, but you won't eat him. There's actually a funny mechanic here. I'm not really sure why it happens, but if you up tongue here, you eat him or you grab him for some reason. So what I do is I just grab that milled, and I grab the Shy Guy for a very specific reason. You do not have to do this strat this way, the way I'm about to show you, up past this first red coin and flower shot. Watch again. I'm just going to repeat myself again and again. My tutorials are not gospel. They are not gospel. They are not the only way to do it. Yoshi's Island 100% is very organic. It's very personalizable. People do things differently. By all means, please watch higher level players than myself. Watch what they do, learn what they do, and try different strats that work for you. I find this is just what works for me, and it's very consistent. And so I grab that guy and I keep him in my mouth. And then I jump over, and you want to make sure you're jumping far enough to the right or the left that you don't hit this guy, but far enough to the right that you avoid landing on these milds. Because if you remember when I mentioned in 2-2, when you land on a mild, the popping animation is incredibly slow, and it stops Yoshi for like a whole second or like a whole two, whatever it is. It's something stupid. It's just really, really freaking slow. So don't land on the mild. Jump here, and as I'm falling, I start aiming an egg. And your goal is to get it in here and get these red coins and the flower. It's harder than it looks. It takes some getting used to for your cues. I don't really have a visual cue here. I just start aiming the egg. And as I keep my eye on the cursor, and I just make sure that it's, and I'm pretty sure when I throw it, it maybe was not a descending neutral. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, I don't think it was. A descending shot, not a descending neutral. So you just got to practice that to get the flow of controls that work for you. So as I get that, I jump up here, and as I'm jumping, I don't spit him immediately after I jump. I jump, and then maybe about half a second later, I spit him up. And what happens is he flies right between this block and this thing, which has a key in it. You might accidentally hit that and get the key. You don't want to do that because you lose an egg slot when you do that. You can only carry 5 eggs in the key. And so at all costs, if you accidentally break that open, you want to make sure you're avoiding the key. And if you hit this, it's annoying, but it stops the screen completely, and it forms this into a platform that moves left and right. So anyway, you want to make sure the Shy Guy goes right between them. And what it does is it misses this first dancing spear guy. So you want to tongue him, and as soon as you tongue him, throw a neutral. And there's actually, like I said, this is a jam-packed stage. So as he goes through, what the Shy Guy is doing is he's clearing out the rest of these dancing guys, because their hitboxes on these things extend upward above the spear. So just trying to jump above them usually from the ground is going to result in you getting hit. So the Shy Guy is going to clear all this stuff out. These, except for this one, which is why you want to tongue him. And as soon as you tongue him, throw a neutral. So while the Shy Guy's clearing all these guys out, you have this guy in your mouth, and you throw your neutral, and what that does is it hits a fly guy with a coin up here, off screen. And it'll drop down and it'll land right here. So what I do there is I jump up and I swallow that guy that's in my mouth. As soon as I do, I ground pound to make that eggplant spit out more eggs. But I just so happen to have 5 here, so it only spit out 1. But if you're short on eggs and you do this strat, he'll spit out like 5 here, so you can jump through and grab them all. So I just make sure I got my eggs here. So this is kind of RNG. This Shy Guy, if he walks to the left, that's the suboptimal outcome here. That's not what you want. You want him to move right. But in my case, he did the suboptimal strat. He moved. I tried to tongue him. I got the red coin instead. But I adapted. I saw that that's what was going to happen, so I jumped to avoid getting hit. And as I came down from there, I ate him and kept going. If he moves right, you can run through that coin and tongue him and keep going. But if you regardless of what happens here, when you get that red coin, you tongue him, hold him in your mouth, because when you throw the egg to break open this cloud, you can swallow him to have an extra egg. Again, mud here, avoid that. And the visual cue I look for here, as I jump up here, right before I get to right as I kind of land right in here, I throw a neutral, and it will ricochet once here, and then hit once here, once on the very corner, and then once into the cloud, or again into the cloud, and break as a red egg. And I jump up, swallow that guy, get the 5 stars, and then drop down. And as soon as I get right in front of this lily pad, I throw another neutral. And what happens is that bounces and it hits this tap, and it gives you 2 stars. And I opted to get that star there instead of just running, because you really want to make sure that you are at 18 stars here. 3-2 is another very unforgiving level as far as making up stars at the end. So you want to make sure you're at 18 stars here. After you get these 2, of course. So I opted to get that one just for a safety net. So I'll have 19 here. So I jump over, I get the flower, and then I start aiming an egg, and then I shoot the tap, and then jump. And I accidentally did something weird here. I jumped again for some reason because I thought I was going to fall. But it'll knock the tap down here, and he'll just kind of be like in shock and awe with his mouth open, looking like an idiot. But before he'll get up and start walking to the left, so you want to make sure that you drop down here and throw a neutral against this wall while you're facing to the left, and it will crack on him and make 2 stars. And you want to make sure that if you're at 18 stars, you want to make sure you get both of these, because you absolutely must be at 20 stars here. You must be at 20 stars here. Very difficult to make up stars from this point forward. So make sure you're at 20 stars here. And again, I was at 21. So I jump and land on this. And then I jump up to this green platform and then immediately up to the pink one. And then I start aiming an upshot. Or I scroll the screen up first and start aiming an upshot. And I lock it at about that angle, jump on top of that pink platform, and then throw the neutral. Or throw the locked shot that I had to get those 4 coins. If you miss one, jump up there and grab it manually. It's not a big deal. And I jump over, I get this mid-ring. And if you want to land on that middle block and jump and then just let this thing swing you into the mid-ring, that's perfectly fine. So you want to make sure you're at 30 stars after that mid-ring. and then let that platform catch you. Start aiming an egg, and then throw it at that blue thing to let it make the platform, and then jump on it, jump up, get the flower. And what I do here is I tongue the wall to stop myself completely under this egg block, and I get 4. You know, I try to get about 4 eggs here. You really want to just kind of watch the cycle here, because your objective is to get up here and then over these 2 shield guys. And if you spin too long down here, this platform will be low, so you won't be able to make it over these guys. You'll have to jump here and then here, which is slower, and you risk getting hit. It's just a big mess. So I jump, and then I jump on this again, jump over these guys, and I eat him. And I get him in my mouth. I jump up, throw an upshot to get the flower, the cloud dropping to make the stairs. I throw another upshot while it's falling to get that one. Jump up and get the flower. And there's an enemy in my mouth. So I jump up to get the flower, and I swallow the enemy in my mouth. And then I jump over and kind of hover just to kind of wait for the stairs. And I jump off the stairs here, but I kind of missed that. I jump on that bottom step. I jump on that top step. And then I jump up and grab him before he turns around. If you jump up here and he's facing you, you can up-tongue him again to go through his shield and swallow him. But I wait until I'm jumping off the spring to swallow. Jump up, just kind of make those jumps the way I did. Land on this platform. Jump up and start aiming an egg to get these 2 red coins. And then land back on this and jump into the trees here. And it is worth noting that it is possible to jump over the loading zone. So it's possible to jump over the loading zone, and if that happens, you will land down here somewhere, and you have to jump back up to get into the trees. But just try to hit that loading zone. You will come up the pipe, and Yoshi will be facing to the left by default. He'll face the left, so you want to watch. If you'll watch my input display, I face to the right. I push to the right initially to face him to the right. And that's what you want. You want him to be facing to the right before you jump and start aiming this egg. So as I face to the right, I push B and A at the exact same time while holding left. So what happens is your egg cursor starts coming out, and you see there's coin here, there's a coin here, there's a coin here, and then there's a hidden one down right here. So as you jump and you hold backwards, you jump to make sure your cursor is in line with those coins, and then you throw it, and Yoshi will grab this one by touching it, and your egg will grab these 3. And you want to make sure that you see that coin grab right there. So you land down here, jump back on the pipe, and keep going. And you can see the coin that got grabbed over there. That's a very tricky little section. It's not too hard, but you definitely want to make sure that you're getting all 4 of those coins. And as you regain control of Yoshi, depending on how many eggs you have, you want to ground pound here to make this eggplant start shooting out a bunch of eggs. And you can't see it, but after you do that, if you're short on eggs here, there'll be 4 or 5. Just kind of jump up and kind of hang out right here for like half a second to get all those eggs. Come back down, and then throw an egg to get these 2 red coins. Jump off of this. Jump off of that platform here, and as soon as I get here, I start aiming an egg from the bottom, and you want to get it to about aiming at this shy guy so that it will go through and kill all those shy guys. Jump up and get the flower, and you'll see there's actually a piranha plant here, and my egg actually killed him while he was small. If that does not happen, you can jump up, get the flower. Okay, let's say that the piranha plant did not get killed here. You would then jump up and throw an egg to egg him. And what'll happen is, as he's in his dying animation, he will still stop your tongue. So if he's dying as you jump through here, you want to make sure you're facing left like this, like I was. Up tongue that guy, get the coin, turn around and start aiming an egg to kill these guys. And it will grab those coins. And all in one fell swoop, then you jump. and that's the enemy you're going to be using for the Z-Wing. This fly guy that comes down is the one you're going to be using for the Z-Wing. So you grab it and hold it in your mouth, and then throw an egg such that it will kill all of these guys. And then run through, and then just Z-Wing out. Like I said, incredibly jam-packed, absolutely jam-packed stage. A lot of very quick, difficult movements. Lots of stuff that can go wrong. Very hard to make up stages or stars past that mid-ring section. So this is going to take a lot of practice. This stage took me many hours of practice to get down. So anyway, let's rewind it so you guys can see it from the start.